on back of a really, really nice M4. Check this out. Not sure if you can see that. So, hey guys, welcome back to the GTI. It's a couple of days before Christmas. I thought that I would give a little bit of an update to the GTI, a 360-mile update. About halfway through the first stage of the break-in period, the manual, says, take it easy for 600 miles, under 4,000 RPM, don't really hoon on it. And then they recommend, just a little bit more aggressive driving to about 1,000 miles, and then after 1,000 miles, go for it. So, great time of year to get this car because it's been intermittent snowing. We've had a couple of snowstorms since getting the car. Yesterday was 3 weeks that I've had the car. So I really haven't, had the chance or the want to really go all out with the car yet because the weather's just been so crappy. So it's a great time of year through the winter to put some miles on it, get the engine broken in, and then come springtime when the weather starts getting nicer, I can start to have some fun with it. Plus, up here in the Northeast, when it gets cold, you get all the frost heaves, and the roads are just absolutely, crappy and bumpy to do anything on. So, any updates? Still loving the car. Haven't really done anything to. It's only 3 weeks. Haven't done anything to the car. I did buy an ECS flush mount kit for the wheels, waiting for 45 degrees or above in order to put them on, just to give the wheels a little bit of a bump out. They look kind of odd, sitting inside the wheel well as far as the stock stance goes. So in the springtime I'll think about wider wheels and tires, and I'll probably end up using the stock wheels and tires as the winter wheels and tires, because actually the stock tires that come with them, Pirelli it starts with a C. I haven't heard about them before. I know that they were putting the Pirellis on here, the Pirelli the P0s before, I think, on the GTIs. Now this is a newer tire, I think, that they're putting on them stock. It's not bad in the snow. It really isn't. We had a 6-inch snowstorm Saturday. Really weird. 6-inch snowstorm Saturday, 55 degrees on Sunday, and it was all gone. So, which is fine with me. But, driving around on Saturday, it wasn't bad. I wasn't having any problems with these tires. So, I'm very happy with the stock tires in the snow. Let's see, what else? I'm starting to use the manual mode a lot more. Now that I'm starting to rack up more and more miles, I'm starting to use the manual more, and they tell you to keep under 4,000 RPM, but let me tell you, when I hit 4,000, you feel something, and it's just, you just want to push it more than that, because there is a change. At about 3,800 RPM, there is kind of a change, kind of a shift in the aggressiveness of the car, and I want to explore that so bad. It's so tempting. But so there's that. I also grabbed some extended paddle shifters, which I had on the which I have on the Mark 6 as well. Make them a lot easier to use, no matter where your hands are on the steering wheel. I'm not sure if you can see those from there. This time of year when it gets dark early, the headlights are really a cool thing. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on a previous video or not, but they are the dynamic headlights, and they track where you move. It is kind of weird in the beginning, because especially on a very dark road where there are no street lights, and you're moving it, and the headlights are moving faster than your car. The headlights are turning faster than your car is turning. So the illusion is that your car is turning faster than it really is. You've got to experience it on a road with no street lights in order to experience that. It is kind of weird, but it is kind of cool at the same time going around a corner, because you see shit a lot better. So those are very handy. The rear view camera is awesome. I don't know how I lived without it before. The keyless start as well as the totally keyless entry. I forgot what Volkswagen calls it. I forgot what it is. I'll put it up here on the screen. But it's their total throw the key in the pocket system, where you grab the handle, you wrap your hand around the handle to unlock it on the outside. You put your thumb or any other finger on the side of the handle in order to lock it when you leave. And of course, the push button engine start and stop is very cool as well. It's just nice just to not have to fumble around with a key, even fumble around with a fob to unlock it. And never mind having to unlock it and lock it with a key, but just the fob of pressing the buttons and everything all the time. It's so nice. I'm going to get in my Mark 6. I had the it's called the hatch pop kit, where it has the hatch the hatch shocks are a little bit more. They're a little bit more aggressive. So when you unlock the hatch, the hatch automatically pops up, because it kind of sucks when you're putting the hatch down, because you have to really put some effort into actually locking the hatch back again. But it is so convenient to unlock the hatch and it pops up. So that's on the docket. I still have to put the German plate on the front, the one from my Porsche, the one from the Cayman, and a Cayman update as well. It is on Colonial. If you go to Colonial Volkswagen, if you do a search for Colonial Volkswagen Westboro, you do a search for used cars and Porsche, as of now, a couple of days before Christmas, it's there, looking kind of sad, because it was a Florida car all its life. I bought it, dragged it up here to New England in the cold, and had it for 6 months, and now traded it in, and now it's sitting up at Colonial Volkswagen. The pictures are odd because they didn't even take the Velcro stickers off the front bumper that I had with the that's how I put the German plate on, was with Velcro stickers. They haven't even taken that off yet, and they snapped the pictures. It looks like hell, but that's there. So that's another chapter done. But going through the winter here, pretty much not really going to do anything to the car as I break it in. I probably will be buying some things over the winter time, like doing research on the wheels and tire setup that I want. Probably some suspension. Not sure if it's just going to be springs or do like a whole coilover system. So I'm probably just gonna look at springs for now, and do some research as far as the wheel and tire combination that works well with the springs. That's about. Oh, as far as engine tuning, listen, I'm not going to go to like APR or even Cobb. Cobb has now really started to focus on Volkswagen, which is pretty cool. They've mostly been, BMW and Subaru and stuff like that in the past. So it's really cool that they're focusing on Volkswagen. But whether you use a system like Cobb, where you can flash new maps and also flash it back to stock yourself, or something like APR, which they just flash it themselves. Techs at Volkswagen, even if you flash it back to stock, they can still see that it was flashed. Whereas something like a JB1 or the new JB4 that's coming out by is it Berger Motorsports, which is which I've seen this on quite a few of the BMW forums, as far as these bypasses that bypass certain sensors in the engine bay. I mean, physical bypass with a wire harness and a control unit, and then you flash the control unit. You don't flash your ECU. So as far as the stuff that I've read, it's undetectable. If you go in for service, if a problem happens, you go in for service, you disconnect the JB1 or JB4. A whole wire harness comes out. It's literally like a 15-minute procedure. And I guess Volkswagen can't tell that anything was there. So I think that's the route that I'm going to go for now. Not going to go crazy with any maps as far as, intakes and exhausts and remapping and custom maps and all this other stuff. Although I am also researching exhausts as well. The car, you throw it in sport and you go a little high revs. The car sounds great in here because of the sound system. It's fake, which kind of pisses you off, because on one hand it sounds great, But on the other hand, you know, you just got to realize that it's fake, and it's not coming from in back of you. It's not coming through the exhaust. So I wanted to come out of the back, and so I'm also researching exhaust as well. Probably intake as well, although intake really doesn't affect the performance. It will affect a little bit of the sound, because I know that with an intake, the turbo sound of the Mark 7s is a lot more prominent than the turbo sounds in the Mark 6s with an intake. So, you know, so that's really pretty much just a fun factor, not really adding any horsepower. So, so I guess that's the update for now. Everything's working great. Everything is awesome. I have an appointment on the 30th to just drop the car off. They're gonna go through it just to make sure that everything's working great. It's a free thing that they threw in just to update everything. I'm also gonna ask them if, because a lot of Volkswagen dealerships have partners with actually a lot of Volkswagen dealerships have partners with tuners like APR. A lot of dealerships you can go to and get an APR tune, and it's totally covered under factory warranty, which blows my mind. Unfortunately, mine doesn't. But there are quite a few Volkswagen dealerships throughout the United States that do that. If mine did, I would probably just go APR. I mean, if it's covered under warranty because they did it, and anything goes wrong, then who cares if they see that it's a tune or not? They did it. But unfortunately, they don't. But also, a lot of dealerships work with third-party suppliers with different components like suspension and stuff, and then, you know, you just buy the components through them. They'll install them for all one special price, and at least they know what's going on with your car. So I think I'll do that with the springs, whether they're is a VWR, VMR springs, or H&R, or even, you know, Volkswagen's own sport springs. I'll double check with them to see if I can go that route, and then just throw it to them and have them install everything, because there's no way I'm going to deal with that myself. I don't have the room to do that, or really even the time, you know, running a business. So I hope you guys have a great Christmas and probably a great New Year's. I'm not sure if there's going to be another video up before New Year's. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.